Hello YouTube and welcome to the shop. It's been quite a week for us. Tuesday we had a house fire and we lost everything. The house is gone, all the contents. The fire department ended up putting the fire out with an excavator because they couldn't get the fire out in the attic. So we're going to change up this channel a little bit. My original intention behind this was to kind of show you guys some of the stuff that I do out in the shop and that kind of stuff. I think we're going to change it up though, and this is going to be about the rebuilding process and some lessons I've learned along the way. A couple of things that I've learned for sure. Number one, you can't have enough insurance. Number two, the outreach from the community is just amazing. We went from not owning anything to, I mean, now we've got some clothes. We're staying at my mom's place. We've got, we've just got a new computer so that we can fill out the paperwork that everybody's asking for. So yeah, let me show you what the house looks like now, and then this is going to be all of the before footage so that when we start rebuilding we can kind of get an idea. So here we go. So this house was originally a 3,000 square foot farmhouse. It was built in the 1870s. This back part right here was the kitchen and the deck that I put on this summer. Then back there in the very back, that was the living room and upstairs bedrooms, or I'm sorry, the dining room. Over here is the living room, and her sewing studio was on top of it. I mean, just debris all over the place. But to kind of give you an idea of how old this place was, that's a square nail put into a rough cut 2x4. It's been remodeled several times over the years, but yeah. So that metal frame that you see there was part of what's called a long arm sewing machine, or long arm quilting machine. So my wife used to do a lot of quilting. It was a Gamble. Up there you can make out what used to be the top of the long arm. So the house is pretty much just gone. So now that you've seen the destruction, let's talk a little bit about what we've got started and what we're gonna get done. So my first goal, I guess, is to get electricity restored. When the house fire happened, NYSEG came out and they cut the lines going to the house for obvious reasons. So there's no electric to the property right now, and we've got a barn that's got some chickens and goats and stuff. And then I've got my workshop and all my tools, which that's kind of one of the biggest blessings I have, is that I didn't lose all my tools. So at least if I got tools, I can rebuild, and that's kind of the plan. So step one is to get electric. Up here in New York, it's considered a new service because the existing service was disconnected. So I had to go through NYSEG and get a job number. Electrical engineer is going to have to approve my plans, and then I'll have to get everything inspected. I'm going to do all of the work. It's going to be a buried service, 200 amp. So let me walk you through what I got planned. So right up here on the wall for the shop, we're going to put a 200 amp meter main combo box, and then we're going to do a buried service. Yesterday I got my little backhoe out. It's a tractor loader backhoe, and dug this trench, and then another trench farther over takes us out to the road and out to the pole. This section here I didn't dig up yesterday because I knew I was going to have to get back here with the truck. So I wanted to get it done today, but it looks like it's going to be raining all day. I've also got to tie into these lines here. This goes out to the wood boiler, and I still want to use that, so I'm going to tie into these lines and run them up to the shop temporarily, so that when I do get another structure built here, I can bring those down in a trench and tie them in. This is the other part of the trench here. And in New York, for buried service, I believe you only actually have to be 18 inches deep. I'm going about 24. And then any place that's under a driveway or someplace that it could potentially be driven on, you got to run a Schedule 80 instead of a Schedule 40 conduit. I always put all of my electric service in conduit because rocks and whatnot up here with the freeze and thaw cycles and the heaves and everything else, the rocks just over time dig into wires, and then you end up with a short, or you lost your neutral or whatever. So from here basically down through this existing trench will all be, and going across the driveway will all be a Schedule 80, and then I'll transition to Schedule 40 to run up to the pole, and then just one stick of Schedule 80 coming up out of the pole. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. And then got to go buy a bunch of electric stuff. Oh, I've also got to dig a trench going over to the barn there so that I can get electric out there. That's only a 50 amp sub, so I'll lay that right in the same trench as I do the 200 amp service entrance. For anybody that goes through a house fire or any major loss, it's so overwhelming at first. I mean, I can't express to you how it feels to pull up and see your entire house engulfed in flames. I mean, that's 20 some years of my life just up in smoke. And then of course my wife lost everything too, so you know, she's doing a little better today than the last couple of days, and for that I'm thankful. But one thing I can tell you is that it's a series of small victories afterwards. You can't look at it like I lost everything and I'm never gonna get it all back. You have to look at it instead of, today I put on clean underwear. Yesterday I didn't own another pair of underwear. Today I do. And then the next day it's gonna be something else. It's gonna be, you know, bags of clothes that got dropped off from somebody so that you can change your shirt and your pants. And then the next day it's gonna be, you know, getting the plan in place to rebuild, and then it's digging a trench, and then it's getting rid of rubble piles. It's a series of small victories as you go. So if this happens to you and you're watching this video, you know, and you just don't know what to do, slow down and just enjoy the little victories that you'll have. Okay, buying a toothbrush. I mean, I know that sounds silly, but the ability to brush your teeth in the morning is kind of nice. So yeah, so we're gonna keep going, and we'll keep you guys updated and posted as we go. I'm gonna do this as basically a build series, and you know, take you along for the ride. And if you like, please subscribe, please share the video, and we'll see what happens. So all right, thanks so much guys. Talk to you later.